The chilling tale I'm about to share with you took place in the dead of winter. On a bitterly cold night, I had just moved into a quaint, centuries-old cottage nestled deep within the woods. It was the perfect retreat from the chaos of the city. Or so I thought. As soon as I settled in, strange things began to happen. The creaking of the old floorboards took on an eerie rhythm of their own, and whispers seemed to echo from the walls. But I dismissed it all as the quirks of an old house, attributing the unsettling atmosphere to my imagination. One evening, while I was sitting by the fireplace, a shadow moved in the corner of my eye. I turned my head, but there was nothing there. The fire crackled, and I convinced myself it was just a trick of the flickering flames. As the days passed, the shadows grew bolder. They danced across the walls, taking on twisted, contorted shapes. One evening, a shadowy figure emerged from the wall, its form barely distinguishable in the dim light. It whispered words I couldn't quite make out, but the tone was unmistakably malevolent. My heart raced as I tried to rationalize what I had seen. Maybe it was a trick of the light, a play of my imagination, but deep down, I knew there was something profoundly wrong with the cottage. One frigid night, as I lay in bed, I heard footsteps echoing through the hallway. Panic seized me. I was alone. Or so I thought. The footsteps drew nearer, each one heavier than the last. I held my breath, fearing the worst. The bedroom door slowly creaked open, revealing the source of the ominous footsteps. A tall, shadowy figure stood in the doorway, its presence suffocating. Its eyes glowed with an unnatural, malevolent light as it approached my bed. I wanted to scream, to run, but I was paralyzed by fear. The figure leaned closer, and I could feel its icy breath against my neck. It whispered my name with a sinister hiss. I finally found my voice and screamed, scrambling out of bed and racing toward the door. But it slammed shut before I could reach it, trapping me in the room with the menacing intruder. I could feel its presence closing in on me, its icy fingers brushing against my skin. In a desperate bid for escape, I lunged for the window, shattering the glass as I tumbled into the snow outside. I ran blindly through the woods, my breath visible in the frigid air. The cottage loomed behind me, its windows glowing with an eerie, malevolent light. I stumbled upon a road and flagged down a passing car. The driver, a kind stranger, offered me a ride to the nearest town. As we drove away from the cottage, I couldn't help but glance back one last time. In the window, I saw the shadowy figure, its eyes still glowing with malevolence. It raised a finger to its lips, as if to silence me, before fading into the darkness. I never returned to that cottage in the woods, but the memory of that night still haunts me. I can't explain what I experienced, whether it was a malevolent spirit or a trick of my own mind. All I know is that I was not alone that night, and whatever shared that cottage with me was something far more terrifying than anything I could have imagined. Even now, in the safety of my new home, I sometimes catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure out of the corner of my eye. And when I do, I can't help but wonder if the malevolent presence that once haunted me still lingers, waiting to remind me that some horrors are all too real.